This segment brought to you by SureCrop, liquid crop nutrition delivered right to your farm.
We're back. Now Kyle and Dalton Henry discuss why the U.S. Wheat Associates consider wheat to be one of the most export-dependent U.S. grain commodities.
Hi, this is Kyle Bauer. I have the opportunity to visit with Dalton Henry. Dalton is a native of Kansas, but working in Greater Washington, D.C. Would that be right, Dalton?
Yep, that'd be spot on.
And with the U.S. Wheat Associates?
Yeah, so U.S. Wheat Associates is the wheat industry's export market development arm. So we staff about 80 staff around the world, 17 offices, 15 of those outside of the U.S. And really our day-to-day job is the promotion of U.S. wheat and wheat exports.
And how is that funded?
So we're funded really from two very distinct streams. So the first of which is support from state wheat commissions. 18 state wheat commissions contribute about a third of our funding. Those funds are then roughly matched by the USDA in the form of two programs. The first is the Market Access Program, and the second, Foreign Market Development Program.
So with coming from government, I imagine that funding is subject to change.
It is at times, and so those programs are both authorized on roughly a 5-year basis through the Farm Bill. And so it's one of those smaller programs that oftentimes doesn't get a lot of attention or a lot of focus when we're in the middle of a farm program debate or a farm bill debate and everybody's thinking about risk management and crop insurance. But as we look at the return on investment to U.S. farmers that both those programs provide in terms of increasing demand abroad. So we did a study about a year ago specific to the wheat industry and found that for every dollar we invested, we returned $45 in net farm income to U.S. wheat producers. And so as you look at that across the wheat industry, that's an addition of more than $2 billion on an annual basis. So really critical programs, sometimes overlooked, but play a major role in our ability to do our work overseas.
And of course, exports are important to nearly every ag commodity, but wheat, a great deal of that crop is exported.
It really is. And so we look at wheat as being one of the most export-dependent grain commodities that we have in the U.S. On an annual basis, we would export just a little bit more than 50% of that product. And where wheat runs through a flour mill and then into so many different end products, we find that the ability to provide technical service, so actually bringing a milling specialist or a milling expert in to work with a customer overseas, or bringing in a cereal chemist or someone to help on a bakery front, is really what allows us to promote the quality of U.S. wheat over many of our competitors. And so being able to have those foreign offices open and operating is really key to that mission.
And certainly wheat is not wheat. You have a different set of 7 different wheats, I believe, across the nation that all have a different market.
Yeah, it's 6 unique classes, a couple of subclasses as well. And as you think about how do you promote those and how do you connect each one of those to a different set of end products and a different set of markets, it's a level of specialization that oftentimes we don't think about. And even within just a particular class, hard red winter wheat grown in Kansas, oftentimes referred to as an all-purpose or a general-purpose wheat, but at the same time, or kind of grown beyond just Kansas, kind of southern plains. At the same time, different varieties, different proteins, all going to end up going into different products.
We're visiting with Dalton Henry. He is with U.S. Wheat Associates. This is Kyle Bauer reporting.
Stay tuned for this week's Kansas Farm Bureau update. Coming up next here on Farm Factor.
Grain sorghum is one of the most important cereal crops worldwide, and Kansas leads the nation in its production. Over the years, sorghum has been either exported, used in animal feed domestically, or for other industrial uses. Recently, its use in the ethanol market has seen tremendous growth, with 30% of domestic sorghum typically going to ethanol production. Kansas Grain Sorghum is committed to sorghum research, market development, and education. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org.